Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I just want to do a quick little unboxing of this Magnum Pro X17 from Graco that I got. It's a brand new machine that I just got because I used to own a Magnum Pro LTS19, and that was the one, similar machine, but it had the stand with the wheels rather than the just no wheels and small stand. And that I used a ton, and it kind of outran its life and wasn't really performing all that well anymore. So I thought it might be time to upgrade. So I ended up getting the Magnum Pro X17. This is their true airless paint and stain sprayer. It is much better than the one that I had. The one I had was like a medium usage. And for this one, it says here it's for heavy project usage. So I think it sprays thicker materials. You don't have to thin as much, and hopefully it won't clog as much as long as you take care of the cleaning and straining of the paint and whatnot. And it can do 20 gallons at a time, I think. Project size, it says. It has 0.34 gallons per minute as the speed. And it has 12 different tips that are supported. You can see Graco's website. I think I'll put a pop-up on the video. They have a little calculator per se that tells you what tip might be the best fit for your project, and that kind of gives you a direction of where to start basically in terms of tip selection and whatnot. It also has the 150 feet hose that's supported, the length. I think only 50 feet comes with the machine, and then you can get 2 other 50 feet rolls with the adapters to couple them together. And you can put the machine far away so it doesn't get sprayed up on, basically, and it stays clean. Or you could just use the 50 foot and cover the machine while you're using it. The cleaner you keep it, the longer it'll last. So you want to keep these things really clean. Of course, if you're like a residential person, you might not even need a heavy of a machine. I tend to do a couple of jobs every couple months. Spraying inside and outside of properties basically during remodeling processes. So right now I'm at the job site and just thought I might do a quick unboxing of this machine, see what's in the box and what came with it. And maybe I'll do a testing video, not sure yet, because I don't really have the time or the recording equipment with me. So I'm just doing this with my phone real quick just to give you guys an idea of what is in the box and what this machine packs basically. So this is the box all around. Graco Magnum Pro X17 True Airless. It comes with the hose, the machine, the gun, the tip, and also the tip holder. And then it comes with a 515 tip. So 515, 10-inch spray, because the 5, and usually it's the first number times 2 to give you the inches spray width. And then 15 is like, I think, 0.015, the fine spray, how fine it is. So this is like their tip chart, basically. For stains and sealers, you use these width in inches, basically. So you just check which one you need. The 515 is included, which is good for exterior paint and primer for a 10-inch spray. I think the higher you go, 0.015, 0.017, the thicker the material you can use and the less viscous it needs to be. So that's basically the entire rundown on what the machine offers right here. So you want to give that a real quick read. It comes with the 50-foot hose, Duraflex hose that I just mentioned, the 515 spray tip, and the SG3 spray gun. And then it also comes with pump armor, storage fluid, and quick start guide. I used pump armor on my last machine a lot because I stored it for a couple months consecutively in between projects. And it kind of prolonged the life of the machine, kept the rust at a minimum, and kind of kept it well lubricated. You also need to oil the machine every once in a while to keep it running smooth. Here's the top of the box. No paint thinning required. It's a 3/4 horsepower motor, and of course you don't need air. It's airless, so the motor does the pressurizing itself. I don't think there's anything much more important on this side of the box. So let's go ahead and cut the box open right here and see what's inside. Oh, it also lists what it can spray. Spray a wide variety of coatings from stains to heavy latex and acrylics, paint plus primer, acrylics, primers, sealers, urethanes, latex paints, enamels, oil-based paints, and stains. In my last machine, the LTS19, it was having trouble spraying paint that had been sitting for a while, and that's kind of the reason I ended up switching out the machine. I don't know if that was the machine's fault, but I know the paint was old, but the machine wasn't performing at all anymore. Gave me issues fairly often, so I just decided I wanted to get rid of it. So I basically had that cart, and it was the LTS19, Pro LTS19, but that's 190. So I don't even know if they make that anymore. But that's what I had. So there's a quick start guide. There's a basic setup of, a guide of setting up, cleaning, configuring, everything included. The hose and the gun are connected. Let's see what's a good way to take this out. Let me put you guys to the side real quick while I get it out of the box. So this is everything that came out of the box. You've got the machine, pretty light, compact. You can move it around easy. And the reason I chose the external connection of the hose rather than the one that just spouts out of the cart is because it was very tedious and very hard to move the paint bucket around. You would sometimes topple the cart over. It wasn't very balanced. If you're spraying outside and the terrain isn't all straight, it gave me a lot of trouble, basically. And getting the bucket in and out every once in a while, if I wanted to change the bucket or change the material or whatever it may be, it was just very tedious and very hard to lean the machine back. If you're by yourself, it's even harder. But this, you can just move the hose around and you don't have to move the entire machine on a cart that's not very well balanced. This machine, I think, was priced around $600 at Lowe's, where I got it, and I'm not sure about the price on the LTS19. When I got it, it was like maybe $400 or something. I don't know, $350, something like that. It was a while ago. It was like many years ago, and that machine I bought as a test run, and it gave me a lot of projects. It gave me a lot of life. It was a great machine. It's where I kind of gained my knowledge on sprayers and got better at it. And so I thought, let's just invest in a better machine that's not on wheels. And that was like my pet peeve for that machine. Right off the bat, the motor housing and the machine itself looks a little bit bigger than the LTS19 Pro. And there's the side view. Nice little compact stand. There's the back with the cable. Short little cable. So easy storage for this guy. The other one I had to keep in a shed somewhere, not on my van, because it was just too big to store. Maybe I can store this one in the van and just have it with me. Normally I just keep it out of the van so I can just pick it up when I need it for one of those projects, because I don't paint regularly. So 50-foot hose, very nice thin hose. I think they have a thicker version, but that one I think doesn't come with any machines. You have to buy that separately. And I'm not sure if that's for like the texture spraying or mud sprayer or something, whatever that machine is called. But this hose is very versatile and easy to kind of wrap up afterwards when you're done. And it's very thin, so I like this hose. I prefer it over, like, I used to have a really old Wagner machine, and I didn't quite like that hose. But this one is nice and thin, very flexible, so you can maneuver it very easily. So let's take a look at the gun. I think it's called the SG3 or something. I forgot the name of the gun. But this is the same gun that I had on my LTS Pro 19. Same mechanism. You've got the holder for the tip itself, and then press the trigger. The trigger is really nice and stiff. I used a Titan gun before and that was okay, but I think Graco upgraded their guns and they look much better than they used to. They function a lot better. They're a little tough to clean in the cracks and crevices, but that's eventually you'll just get paint buildup anyways. The gun has a locking mechanism right there that kind of keeps you from accidentally pressing the trigger if you're like pausing for a minute, and then you can just undo the lock. And no, that's not magic, they have it on both sides. So one is right here and the other is right here. The filter is inside the gun, so you would just pop this up and over like that. This becomes loose, and then you can just use a wrench if it's too tight here, a crescent wrench or something, so you don't damage it, and then just spin the top and the filter mechanism comes out. And so you want to clean that regularly, replace it if it needs be. If you don't strain the paint, you're going to get a lot of little granules in there, and then it'll start affecting the flow, and then it won't spray good, and then it's very bad basically. The tip itself, it swivels, so you get the nice cleaning side. That's to unclog the tip. As you can see, it's the larger end. And then you turn it back around for the spraying end, which is the 0.015 inch orifice. 515, like they said, 10-inch spray. I won't be using this. I'll be using more like a 315 or something to spray indoors. The wider fan is probably good for outside, not so much for inside, because it's not as you can't control it as much. Basically, it's a lot of overspray, and I don't want that. Luckily for this project, I made a few shorts about this one. I'm going to be painting everything the same color, which is hopefully going to give me a little less of a hard time. So this is that Graco pump armor storage thing. So after you're done using the machine and you say you're going to store it, you want to get all the water and other liquids out of the machine, and you want to pump this into the machine and basically keep it in the machine until you're ready to use it again. This will keep the machine from hopefully rusting and seizing up, and kind of clean up any residue that's left in there. And that'll prolong the life of your machine, and you want to do that every time. And they sell larger bottles of these for like I think like $15 or something. I forgot. But I bought one. I used to buy these a lot, but I just kind of picked them up because I was so fixed to the price. I think that's everything that comes with the machine. I'm not sure what this thing is, but there's a hose adapter that you can just connect the garden hose to. So like right here, there's a little bit of heat treatment on this or something, but you basically unscrew this, just like that. You got your pretty much a garden hose right here, and then you would just connect that to your garden hose and screw it into here. That way it's easier to clean, so you can just flush it outside into another bucket or something, so you're not messing up your job site, and you can easily dispose of the liquids afterwards, so you're not just making a mess all over the place trying to clean the machine up. On the machine itself, you've got the pressure adjustment. So you would keep it at this adjustment here where it says start for priming and cleaning, and then you just adjust it as needed for most pressure and least pressure. And then this side, the pressure goes even less for like rolling the paint, so you don't have to continually dip your roller in a tray or fill the paint. There's the dial, it says it right there, the PSI and bar ratings. Anything else on this machine? The priming is right here. So when you turn the machine on, dip this into the paint, you get the cleaning thing into another paint bucket or empty bucket while you're priming it. And then you would turn this down, turn the machine on, make sure it's on prime, and it will start to suck paint into the big tube. And basically it comes out of the small tube and into your discarding bucket. And then once it starts flowing out of this tube, you would just turn this while the machine's on, and that will basically prime the machine. The machine will stop running, you'll hear it kind of build up pressure, and that means it's ready to spray. You can then take this out of your discarding bucket and put it back into your wherever you put this hose, into the actual paint bucket. The rest of these adjustments I normally don't touch. They weren't actually on my LTS Pro 19. They're new on this machine. I'm not sure what they are. I'll have to read about them. If you know what they are, please put them in the comment section below, just so I know what's different on this one rather than the one that I had before. So yeah, there's not much you need to know about these machines. They're pretty much just hook up and ready to go type of thing. Easy lifting, they're not that heavy. You can move them around no problem. And it's easier to cover them too with like a rag or something while you're using them. And yeah, that's pretty much the entire unboxing. That's what they give with the machine. Oh, let me actually show you the little attachments that I'm going to be using it from my previous setup. Okay, so here is pretty much my old stuff from my old machine that I harvested or I took from. And it's all compatible with the new machine. Luckily, as you can see, I've got pump armor stored in there. The old machine, I still, I got rid of it, but I still put pump armor at the very end. You can still see, even with pump armor, these things tend to rust and kind of grow old, basically, like everything else. So you want to really care for these. I've cleaned this a ton, pretty much after every use, and it still builds up a lot of paint. This is like my little 12-inch extension. This is what I use pretty much every time I spray, because it kind of gives that little bit of reach. I also have the 180-degree swivel adapter on it. This will give me this type of control. Say I need to spray a ceiling, I don't have to hold the gun like this all the time. I can hold the gun straight, which won't hurt my wrist and all, and I can swivel this up, and that'll give me some better control. So this is a good, worthwhile investment if you're spraying a lot. This thing is pretty expensive actually, but it's very well worth it if you spray regularly. This is the really long, I don't remember the length of this. I think it's the 24-inch or 30-inch extension or 28-inch or something like that. But it's good for like really high ceilings or high walls or something. If you're trying to spray from afar and you don't want to use an extension or a ladder or something. Extension ladder, not extension. This is the extension. And so you can just put this thing on there and it'll give you good reach. I tape up the ends most of the time with painter's tape. Not sure if this is a good habit, but I want to keep debris and things going inside the extension itself and clogging things up every time I'm not using it. This one, like I said, I had on the gun before I kind of took it from that machine, and so it's not taped up like the other one. So this would basically just attach here like that. And now you have a really nice kind of long extension with the swivel, and this is really versatile. Each gun, Graco gun, comes with a little 360-degree swivel on the end here, which is much appreciated. This is actually really helpful, so you don't have to fight the stress on the pipe, which can be really straining if you do this for many hours in a day. So the pipe can do whatever it wants, go in whatever position it wants, and you can handle the gun with ease, so you're not fighting the pipe basically. So the red one I showed earlier, this is actually a Wagner tip. It's not a Graco tip, but it fits and it works, so I used to use it. So the red one is for the regular spray applications. Each tip, so when you buy a tip, you get a little rubber piece. I don't know if you can see that, it's right here. Adapter in there, so it seals nice, and you want to use it with the tip. So if this rubber seal goes bad, then you're going to start getting paint leak all over the place, and you don't want that. So keep those things safe and replace them every time you think it's starting to leak. Another thing is, I mean, it's plastic, but eventually these things start kind of moving a lot when you try to tighten and loosen this over time, many times. And I've noticed that this red piece comes loose from the metal, and so you start getting play in here, and then it doesn't work all that well anymore. So these are all my tips. I have different numbers. It is 311. I have two 311s, 415, and I don't know what this is. Rack 517. I also have the fine finish low pressure FFLP. This is for like doors and trims. So to use the green tips, the super fine tips, you always want to get the blue housing for it. Otherwise it doesn't work. It doesn't work in the red one. So this is kind of a separate investment if you do doors and trims a lot, which I do. So I use these pretty frequently. For exterior, interior, I use this, and then just interior trim spraying and doors and whatnot, I use this. Exterior trims, I kind of use hand rollers and whatnot. Here's the big bottle of pump armor. It's 1 quart, 946 ml. So you just put the hose, that hose, into here and prime it as normal, and then you just shut off the prime and just turn off the machine, and that's it. And then you can store the machine, clean it up, excess, and then you can reuse it when you're ready to spray again. And that's kind of how it looks. It's kind of oily, so it keeps it protected on the inside. It's not super duper oily like actual oil, but liquidy and a little touch of oil in there, so it lubricates the machine nicely. This is the packing lubricant. I got it at Sherwin-Williams. You just put a couple drops every once in a while into the packing area. It used to be like in this area on my 19, and I don't know about this one, but we'll see where it is. And then you just want to basically, every couple of uses, just put this in, or maybe every use, a couple drops goes a long way. So that's basically everything that I've got on this sprayer, and kind of a little, I guess, comparison on my old one. Hope this video helps you in making a decision. Oh, also this is like the highest model that Lowe's offers. I was gonna go with Titan, and I ended up just going back to Graco, but that's just personal preference, because I already have experience with these machines, and this one was a little enticing. It's nice, small, and easy to handle, like what I wanted. Easy to handle the paint and intake and whatnot. So that's everything. Hope that helps. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up if it helped you at all. Leave a comment about what you think. What machine is good? Is this a good buy for the price? For what it kind of brings to the table, and what you guys think in general. And subscribe if you haven't already for future videos like this, and support this channel so we can get growing again. I know I haven't been making a lot of videos, but that's basically it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.